everyone, welcome back to This Old Kitchen. Well, we are finishing up the day with doing a couple of flavors of cupcakes. So I am going to make two types of cupcakes. We're going to do raspberry cupcakes with a raspberry buttercream, and we're going to do a chocolate cupcake with, I think, a chocolate with chocolate buttercream. So I hope you join me and I hope you follow along because this looks like it's going to be insanely good. All right, so we are going to start with a half a cup of sugar, granulated sugar. And 4 tablespoons of room temperature butter. You can use salted or unsalted. Looks about right. And we're going to cream that together. All right, that looks good. Now we're going to do a 1/4 cup of whole milk. Okay. We're going to do 1 egg. Don't want that in the drain. We are going to do half a teaspoon of vanilla. And with vanilla, oops, I measure with love and I measured a lot there, so good luck to us. We're going to do 1/4 teaspoon of salt and 3/4 teaspoon of baking powder. That's about 3/4. And 1/4 teaspoon salt. And I'll link this recipe below. It's by Itsy Bitsy, the Itsy Bitsy Baker, I think it is. Looks about right. Okay, so we're going to mix that together. Now, I am going to use cake flour on this just because I like the texture of it. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but we'll see. We're going to start off. Total flour is going to be 3/4 cup. All right, so 3/4 cup. There's half a cup. And that is a 1/4 cup. And we're not going to beat this. We're just going to fold it in. Those chunks of butter in there look fantastic. I'm going to preheat this oven to 350. Our cupcake. Just to get those ready. And you can use silicone cupcake papers. You can use these ones. These are unbleached. You can use the fun colored ones. The fun colored ones might be really nice because your frosting, the buttercream frosting, is going to have a bright pink color because of the raspberries. Now what we're going to do is we are going to fold in 1 cup of coarsely chopped frozen raspberries. And let's get these chopped. You just don't want those big chunks. You want them evenly distributed. Even though I think this is more than a cup. But that's okay. All right. All right, and then we're going to fold those in. All right, so we are going to fill these about, it's probably a little too much. All right, so these are going to go in at 350 for 20 to 24 minutes. All right, so what we're going to do with these is we are actually going to puree. We're going to puree these raspberries so that we're able to pipe our buttercream. So I'm going to go get my blender and we're going to get this done. All right, so making sure that your raspberries are in fact thawed, mine are not quite yet. You're going to blend them and then we're going to cook them on a low heat, medium to low, until they reduce by half. So I'm going to do that here. All right, so we're going to start reducing these on a medium, low, low, medium, however you want to say it, heat. All right, so this has been reduced to almost half. I don't know if you can see that, but we're going to put it through a sieve. And you really only need about a quarter cup of raspberry sauce. And you're going to want to just smash it through. And then what we're going to do is we can use this and just scrape off the bottom right there. That's what you're going to want. And you take all of it from the bottom. And that, you're just going to let that cool. It's literally just a spitful of raspberry. It's perfect. All right, so we're going to let that cool, and then we're going to get it mixing with the butter. It's going to be 12 tablespoons of butter. It's a lot of butter. And powdered sugar, and we'll get that next. Okay, so this is going to be your raspberries. And if your raspberries are sweet, to balance it out, because we are doing 2 cups of powdered sugar, you can put a little bit more than half a teaspoon. Actually, if your strawberries or raspberries are on the sweet side, you can put more than an 1/8 teaspoon of salt in here, because we are using 2 to 2.5 cups of powdered sugar. Obviously, you want to balance that out. You're welcome to. Mine are very tart, so I don't think I'm going to be adding much more, but we'll see. There's 1 cup. One and a half. Oh, this is why you use a spoon. All right, and we'll call that 2. We're going to put our butter in. And salt. Where is it? And we're going to use our paddle. We're going to put in 2 tablespoons of either milk or heavy cream. I've got heavy cream here that I want to use up. All right, so we have got our piping bag, which you can use a Ziploc bag or piping bags. This is, I think, $6 on Amazon, and I love it. And it does take some getting used to when it comes to piping and how you hold the piping bag and squeeze it down so it doesn't come over the top. Now, what I would do, and what I will do the next time I do these cupcakes, is I will do a different process when it comes to the raspberries in the actual cupcake. What I think I would do is mix it and then put the frozen raspberries in separately so they don't come out looking brown. And just do it that way. I think they'd be prettier. But they smell amazing. And I'm sure they will taste just as good. Do this a different way. All right. Like I said, I am all thumbs in the kitchen, especially when it comes, well, really only when it comes to baking. I'm just not skilled like that. So what you're going to want to do is obviously smush all of this down to the bottom. And that way it doesn't come out the top. And then what you'll do is fold these like this. All right. So you're basically going to want to hold it, cross it, and these do come with ties. And then just twist as you go. And there you go. Raspberry cupcakes. These are too cute. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Hey everyone, welcome back to This Old Kitchen. Well, I had planned, and I am obviously filming this over the last couple of days, but I had planned to do the raspberry cupcakes with the raspberry buttercream, which we did. And I wanted to do chocolate, but then I realized I ran out of chocolate. So it's been a couple days. I haven't gone to the grocery store yet. So I'm going to improvise. I did go to one store this weekend. So, and I'm not drinking all this. We are going to make some vanilla. This is something I've wanted to do. I wanted to do it last year, but I never got around to it. Vanilla beans are obviously expensive. Vodka is obviously expensive. But I want to get this done. So I have homemade vanilla, not only for my baking season next year for the holidays, but also to give to my sisters and possibly a couple friends. I only have a little bit left, but I wanted to start these couple of bottles out just so I had those. And then I will likely, I think the next one I'm going to do is going to be a bourbon based vanilla. So let's get that started. It's super easy, super simple. You can use cheap vodka. You can use Tito's, which is my favorite. You can use any kind of vodka. You can use bourbon. You can use, I think you can actually even use whiskey if memory serves. So we're going to do this one today, and I'm super excited about that because I want to get it on the shelf. Really, the only thing you have to do is fill your jar with your alcohol. You're going to take your vanilla beans, and typically for a bottle of this, I think this is 12 ounces, I think it is. And I have more on order. But basically, all you're going to do is fill it up with your alcohol. You're going to take four to six, really depends on what you want. Vanilla beans, you're going to slice them down the center. You're going to put the vanilla beans in your jar. And every couple of weeks, you're going to go and you're going to turn it and get it all shaken up. You are going to store this in a cool, dark, dry place. I'm going to put this in my garage, and that way, when I go out to the pantry, when I go out and get my crock pot or my blender or whatever it is that I need, then I can just go ahead and mix them there. And it makes it really easy and convenient, and it's not going to take up any space in my tiny kitchen. So let's get started. All right, so I've got a half a bottle and a full bottle. I think I'm going to save this one, for the weekend. And we're going to just do one bottle. And then once I get more of those sealed ones, then we'll do more in there. Take a small paring knife. Oh, it smells so good. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to do 5. Oh, this smells so good. All right, so we're going to split them down the center. Toss it in. Toss that in. In. And you can obviously open these beans up. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't see anything. So I'm just slicing them in half. Carefully without slicing my fingers off. And then again, we're going to seal this up. Now this is going to need to sit for a minimum of 12 months. We're going to go ahead and put this in my pantry, and then again, mix it up every couple of weeks. And in 12 months, you're going to have homemade vanilla. We'll see how it turns out. The next one we're going to do, I think maybe this weekend, is we're going to try doing the bourbon one as soon as I get my jars. So I hope you guys try it out. It's definitely worth it. We'll see how it turns out. You know, I always like trying new things like this just because it's so expensive to buy vanilla and I go through so much of it. I usually get like a big, I don't know how many ounces. I think it's like 32 ounces of Molina Mexican vanilla from a neighbor who goes down to Mexico she usually goes every year, but she didn't go this year. And so I get that from her and I absolutely love it. So let's see how this turns out. We'll try it and check it out in a year.